On today's show, Madison shows how theater students are using their sewing skills for something special. Sisters on the Mat wrestlers travel to Iowa to test their skills with the best. These stories and more on this edition of HTN Daily. Good afternoon, Blue Hawks. We are officially 2 days away from Halloween. You might have noticed students and staff are dressed in costumes as we are ending Red Ribbon Week with saying boo to drugs. And we at HTN are not taking any risky business when it comes to drugs. I'm Troy Murphy, and we are live from Studio 1060. Let's see some of the costumes that students and staff members have shared with us. First, we have biology teacher Miss Davis, who transformed into another teacher wearing Miss Frizzle's Halloween costume from the Magic School Bus. Second, we have English teacher Miss Cummings and her daughter Jade, who posed with their inflatable costumes this morning before school. Next, looks like we have junior Jacob Mercer, who has been hitting the gym this offseason wearing an inflatable Rock Hill costume. Lastly, we have sophomores Anders and Kerrigan dressed up as a nun and Kermit the Frog. Thank you all so much for sharing your photos with us during forthcoming in Red Ribbon Week. If you would like to share any Rock Hill photos related to the school, you can share those using the hashtag #RockThatSpirit throughout the school year. Now we send over to Khshaeta Cama with today's news.
Thank you, Troy. Here are today's announcements. The National Art Honor Society will host their late October night event where they will come together along with PHS on National Art Honor Society members to socialize. Their meeting will include a costume contest, a pumpkin carving or painting contest, and then they will have a general meeting discussions before signing off for e-learners. They will then move into in-person activities, only tie-dyeing t-shirts, eating prepackaged snacks, and playing some spectacular games. If you're looking for a scare, there's a Halloween screening that you might be able to bear. They're playing the Hocus Pocus and the 80s horror classic Nightmare on Elm Street. It's limited to 60 cars per film and parking spaces go quickly. To register for a parking space, go to Eventbrite. Only one ticket per car is needed. Parking spots are just $10 per space, with all the proceeds going to the North Texas Food Bank. It will be hosted at the Cabaret Drive-In in Breezer Richardson. This year has been scary already, and with Halloween just days away, here's how you can stay safe and still have fun. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention issued new guidelines recommending that people don't go door to door like traditional Halloween, but rather have individually wrapped gift bags at the end of a driveway or yard while still following social distancing rules. The CDC also recommends that any haunted houses or costume parties be outside while still following social distancing to ensure a safe and fun Halloween. We wanted to end all of the news for this school week with something good. Newborns and their families in the neonatal intensive care units at the Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital in Plano and several other North Texas hospitals are dressing up for Halloween. Each baby was gifted a knitted costume to wear for the next few days. Some of the costumes include a frog, candy corn, a lion, and a Ninja Turtles. That's all of today's news. Back to you, Troy.
Theater is known for their intricate costume designs, but how have they used these skills translated into something else? Madison has the story.
From creating costumes to stitching up loose seams, knowing how to sew is a necessity for theater students. However, instead of teaching her students the task through costume design, Miss Haney has taken this simple problem and given it an extraordinary solution.
We could sew costumes, but I thought that it would be much more beneficial to them to see how this skill benefits them in life, not just in theater. So I started researching, and we talked about maybe sewing blankets and donating them, and then I found the Teddy Bear Brigade, where they have to sew a stuffed animal by hand. And one of our goals in our department is community involvement. And so anytime I can relate what they're learning in class to giving back to the community, I'm going to.
Assisting the Teddy Bear Brigade organization, which donates toys to children in need, is not only giving Rock Hill Theater students a better grasp on the art of sewing, but also growing their will and excitement to help others.
It's super fun to make them because we're having fun and we get to talk and enjoy making it. We get to put a lot of effort into it, but then it's even more exciting knowing that it's going to go to a kid who honestly needs it because they've lost so much. So this will give them comfort and knowing that it came from someone who cares about it, going to someone who will enjoy it and get to love it like a stuffed animal.
Creating such a big difference through what many call a simple skill, Rock Hill Theater has not only learned valuable life lessons for the future, but also the idea that a simple stitch can change a life and help countless others. For HTN Daily, I'm Madison Wells.
Earlier this month, members of the Blue Hawk wrestling team competed in the recent Midwest Mat of Dreams wrestling tournament in Iowa. Henderson has a story.
Blue Hawk wrestlers Audrey Walker and MALAINA BOWLBY protected the Rock up in Coralville, Iowa, alongside their team Sisters on the Mat on October 10th and 11th.
So Iowa is like one of the most well-known states for wrestling, and just to go there and compete was such a big deal, and it was such like a cool experience overall.
Wrestling in Iowa was a really good experience, and I think that it's just a really, it's a different aspect to be able to go there and experience what they get to do and what we get to do, and the different ways that we wrestle and they wrestle.
Set up in the bracket, so this team go against this team, and then that person wins, and then based on how you did in your pool was based on how you were put in the silver bracket or the gold bracket.
After finishing first in their original bracket, they were put into the more challenging gold bracket. After easily beating the first team, they faced a team from Wisconsin, and they lost by points and pins to finish second overall and first in their pool.
The teams were also really good, and it was just different from wrestling in Texas.
But it was really good to be able to wrestle with those girls. I really enjoyed it, and being able to go out there and show them a little bit of what Texas is made of.
We've been in quarantine for a little bit, so to work hard for 12 weeks, training 3 days a week, and seeing that they are successful, that what we're teaching them is super successful against some of the best girls in the nation.
With their high school season being delayed, they continue to stay competition ready and will bring the success to the mat in February. For HTN Daily, I'm Jedediah Henderson.
There are many things that make our campus run so well, and one of those things is the administration staff. Grant Johnson sat down with Mr. Toth to hear about his role on campus in today's Talk with Mr. Toth.
Thank you, Trois. We're back with Mr. Toth for our segment Talk with Mr. Toth, and I'm your host, Grant Johnson, so thank you for being here. So let's go ahead and jump right in and ask the question that's on everyone's mind, and that is, who controls the music during the passing periods?
Well, Grant, if I'm being totally honest, it was my playlist in the beginning, but I got so much feedback from the students and staff that I had to change it to something a little more classic. I guess the students and staff just didn't really dig the Taylor Swift and Greatest Showman after every period.
Yeah, I can see that. And then also the High School Musical.
Yeah.
I know you're a big fan of that,
yeah.
So that's awesome. Well, now, if you had to choose one moment from the school year, what would be your proudest moment so far?
You bet. Well, I think my favorite thing this far has been the You Rock cards, and I think it's just a great way to spread positivity on campus. And I'm just putting this out there, but this stack right here, these are all mine.
Well, I'm sure you're probably going to write those to yourself so you can announce that over the announcement, how everybody just loves you. So that's cool. So could you take me through what a typical day of a high school principal, or I guess you, is at Rock Hill?
You bet. So in the morning, I go to my closet and I just choose whatever Rock Hill pullover I think I want for that day. And then I choose a mask. And then I head to my office and I start practicing for the birthday names in the morning. And then I get on the intercom and still somehow manage to butcher almost all of them. And I just want to say to you students, if I have messed up your name on the intercom, I'm very sorry. Well, anyways, after that, I have a few meetings, and then I go visit some classrooms to find something that I can put on Twitter, just showing the great things that we're doing on campus. And then I send out at least one email to the staff, students, and community, maybe two, and then maybe three if I forget something on the second one as well. So then I go out after the school day's over, and I go and watch one of our amazing athletic performances because our students just really amaze me here at Rock Hill. So that's pretty much my day.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. That's actually a lot more than I thought you did.
Yeah.
Because I don't really see you doing a whole lot of anything. So thank you, Mr. Toth, for giving us some insight into what it's like as the principal at Rock Hill. And although we would love to hear more about you, Mr. Toth, it's unfortunate that's all the time we have for today. So back to you guys at the desk.
That's all for today's show. For HTN Daily, I'm Khshaeta,
And I'm Trois Murphy. Mask up and rock on.